Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and I actually want to say Happy New Year to you. Welcome to 2025. And today we're actually going to be looking once again at the ZOTAC Zone handheld gaming device, and this is going to be 2 months later review. And guess what? This is actually the first video of the year, so pretty awesome, right? So I actually want to start by saying that this device right here, if I'm being completely honest, it feels like for me the one and done handheld. And trust me, also you guys should actually stick around to the end because I'm going to be telling you some amazing things that I've discovered over the past 2 months of using this device. So obviously this device has had its fair share of issues at launch, and if you haven't seen those already, I've actually made a couple of videos detailing everything about this device's issues. And normally after encountering such issues, I'll be ready to move on to a different device, but for some reason I decided to hold on to the ZOTAC Zone with high hopes. And honestly, guys, I'm gonna say that I'm actually glad that I did, because trust me, I was actually thinking about selling this device, but I chose not to. Because guys, there's a saying that you never get a second chance to make a first time impression, and that was definitely the case with the ZOTAC Zone. At launch, this device actually underwhelmed a lot of people, including myself, by delivering less than expected. Of course, it boasts some impressive specs: a gorgeous 7-inch OLED HDR display with a 1080p resolution and 120Hz refresh rate. It also comes with a Ryzen 7 8840U processor and the Radeon 7080M iGPU. But the downsides were hard to ignore. It came only with 16 gigs of RAM and a 48 watt-hour battery, and of course a slightly larger bezel than the OneXFly F1 Pro. But for a device priced to compare with heavy eaters like the OneXFly F1 Pro, the new MSI Claw, and the soon-to-arrive Lenovo Legion Go, it felt like ZOTAC actually missed the mark. Okay, it was like a missed opportunity, if I should say. But despite all that, I still held on to hope, and that was largely because of the incredible OLED display on this device with its 800 nits of brightness. You see, I wanted to see how it would perform after ZOTAC addressed its early issues through updates. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm no longer as disappointed as I was at first. And fast forward 2 months later, and I'm gonna say that I've had quite an experience with this device. Let's start with a standout feature, which is the OLED display. And if you've used OLED screens before, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? The visuals are simply stunning. The colors pop and the contrast is unbelievable. And that 800 nits of brightness is just next level. They say once you go OLED, you never go back, and that couldn't be more true about this device. For me, OLED should be the standard for all future handheld gaming devices, and of course I'm glad to see that Lenovo is embracing it for their upcoming Legion Go 2. Now let's talk about the device's much discussed shortcomings, starting of course with the battery life. So the 48 watt-hour battery is far from great. I mean, I was barely able to get an hour and 15 minutes of gameplay on this device before needing to charge. But since I was so much into the visual experience of this device, I was able to solve this issue by simply investing in a portable power bank. And with that, the battery life stopped being a problem for me. And speaking about the RAM size, okay, there is one question that I've been trying to find out, and I believe some of you out there are also curious as well, because it's also the same issue with the Lenovo Legion Go, right? So the question is, is 16 gigabytes enough for a gaming handheld device? And well, it actually depends. For me, the ZOTAC Zone has worked just fine, as long as I wasn't running any background, apps while gaming. But when I forget to close, the browsers plus other apps that I opened, that's when I start to really see the limitations of the 16 gigs of RAM. Games will occasionally start to freeze, and this happened more when I'm playing the Assassin's Creed Origin. But with other games, the freezing appears very, very rarely. That said, if you're using the ZOTAC Zone purely for gaming, which I expect that should be the use case, I think 16 gigs of RAM should be more than enough. I don't know. But of course, if you're thinking long term, then 32 gigs would be more future proof, okay? Especially if you want to multitask. For me, I think the RAM issue will become irrelevant because I've decided to pair the ZOTAC Zone with the OneXGPU too. Because, with the eGPU handling the heavy graphics processing, the 16 gigs of onboard RAM will no longer be a bottleneck, right? And initially, I was actually thinking about getting the OneXFly F1 Pro, but you see, the reason why I decided to get the One X GPU 2 instead of getting the OneXFly F1 Pro is because I believe that the eGPU is really going to elevate the ZOTAC Zone to a higher level, which, in my opinion, will be much better than getting the OneXFly F1 Pro. The ZOTAC Zone together with the One X GPU 2 actually cost, I think, around $1,900, and that is after tax, right? Which is going to be roughly the same price as the OneXFly F1 Pro, with tax included, of course. And that's if you import into Germany. Maybe to the US, you guys may not be paying a lot of taxes. I don't know, but I'm talking about importing to Germany because I live in Germany. So with this combo, you get a device that matches the OneXFly F1 Pro's OLED visual experience while delivering significantly better performance. Yes, the ZOTAC Zone has the slightly larger bezels, but for me, that is not a deal breaker. I don't even see why that's a deal breaker. It's still, they are both 7-inch displays, right? Of course, the OneXFly F1 Pro give you more screen real estate, but I don't think that is a selling point for me. Because if you're thinking about, getting a bigger display, then just get the new MSI Claw with the 8-inch display, but it's not OLED anyways. But if performance is actually your priority, then this setup is a one and done solution that will outperform not just the OneXFly F1 Pro, but any upcoming handheld for the next couple years, right? But of course, I know what some of you guys might be thinking. Probably you're thinking, why not just get a gaming laptop or a desktop for that price? Well, if you're asking that question, then it means you're missing the whole point of a handheld device. You see, the beauty of handheld is its convenience. Yes, I could get a gaming laptop, but I already own a laptop. What I wanted was a dedicated gaming device that offers portability without tying me to a specific spot. With the ZOTAC Zone and the One X GPU 2 combo, I get the best of both worlds, right? When I want a full setup, I just have to dock it and connect it to my 55-inch 4K OLED TV and game sitting on a couch, right? And when my wife needs the TV, I can seamlessly switch to the ZOTAC Zone's OLED screen, which is going to deliver an equally immersive experience. And most of the time, the way I actually use this device is that I connect my AirPods Pro to the device, and at that point, I totally forget what handheld device that I'm using because I'm just seeing this amazing OLED vibrant display and I'm playing my games. It's so amazing. It's unreal. And for me, of course, that's the ultimate gaming experience and convenience that I'm looking for. Here are my final verdict, as well as, of course, the answers to some of your questions. Obviously, this device is not perfect, and same goes for all the other devices out there. There's always going to be something that is not done right, okay? But the most important thing is that it delivers an experience that's more than satisfying, especially if you're someone who values convenience and immersion over just raw specs. So I've personally upgraded the SSD from the 500 gigs that it came with to 2 terabytes, and the upgrade process was super easy to do. And I have to say again that this device is now so much fun to use. Everything seems okay now with regards to the software stability, and all the initial issues that I had with the device are all completely gone. Games run fantastically well, the display looks ever so amazing, and the built-in audio quality is also excellent. But of course, I'm still curious about the Lenovo Legion Go 2, and for the sake of you amazing people, when it launches, of course, I'll be sure to get my hands on it, and I'm gonna review it here on this channel. So who knows, it might even replace the ZOTAC Zone, which of course will be okay as long as it has an OLED display, and my One X GPU 2 is gonna push the experience level even further, but we'll have to wait and see, right? So guys, if you enjoyed this video and of course you found it helpful, let me know by hitting the like button, and if you haven't already, then consider subscribing to the channel and turn on notifications. There are plenty of exciting videos lined up for this year, and I would love for you guys to be a part of it, okay? That said, thanks so very much for watching. Wishing you again a prosperous new year 2025, and guys, I'm gonna catch you in the next video.